Welcome back to Breaking Waves, a channel about Ben and Alie sailing the world in search of surf waves. This week's episode starts in La Cruz, Mexico, where the couple are putting in some hard labor on the boat in preparation for their biggest passage yet, across the Pacific Ocean to French Polynesia. In this episode, you'll see the projects that go well as the ones that inspire tears.
And right now it just feels like everything's breaking.
So hit subscribe if you haven't, because you don't want to miss out on Breaking Waves.
Who needs 20 liters of soy sauce? And yet I'm here and I'm like, oh yeah, I need that. This is hard. Even if I did want 20 liters of soy sauce, none of my storage compartments are that big. There's nothing worse than trying to sleep underway while you're on a passage, and every time the boat rolls, you just hear ding, 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 ding. So that's probably my least favorite thing. So I've taken all measures to avoid that. This boat is stocked. That feels heckin' good.
Now that we're back in the marina, I've been able to organize fuel tank polishing, and a metal worker is coming to help us extend our push pit out so that we can install our solar further up here, which is going to leave the back for fun things like barbecues and anchors and whatever else we put back there. So
one of the not so great things about getting ready in a popular stepping off location is that the technicians are booked out sometimes 4 to 6 weeks in advance. So if a project has a surprise midway that you need help with, let's just say you're on Mexico time.
We try to do all our own work, but we have people on board polishing our fuel tanks and reestablishing our forward tank, which we've never used because it used to be a water tank and the previous owners have changed it over to a fuel tank. So we're getting that polished and back in working order so that we can carry more fuel over the ocean.
So the metal fab technician, unfortunately, was a no-show, and the fuel polishing could only do our aft tanks, which meant the extending of our push pit got chopped and the forward tank project fell right back into Ben's lap. Step 1 was to install a port so that we could move to step 2 and polish it.
I just traced the hole from this thing, and I'm going to start cutting. I'm going to start marking out the holes for the nuts or the screws over there. This inspection port that I bought up Dell, or planned to buy up Dell anyway, it's not huge, so I mean it's big enough to get my fist in there and hopefully reach every part of the tank, but it'd be nice if it was more like a 6-inch hole instead of a 4-inch hole. Anyway, I'm happy that's over. I'm happy we can progress this project and finish it tonight. Gonna carry on. All right, now that we're clean, now that the drilling and cutting is done, and the files are now all in the tank, all the files that are going to be in the tank are in the tank. We've rigged up these handles for the bilge pump, manual bilge pump, with a sponge on the end and a shop towel and an elastic, so that I can get in here and just scoop it all up. Alright folks, back on the tank job today. Everything's cleaned up on the inside. I'm pretty happy. I've inspected it now with my phone. Now that I got battery charge again. Looks good. There's definitely some pitting in there, but I mean, it's a pretty old tank and I'm just not concerned about it. This is mainly going to be like a reservoir tank, like extra fuel. We'll still keep using our other two tanks primarily, and then we'll know that we have an extra 25 gallons or so up here to if we run out and we'll need it. So pretty excited to add more fuel capacity to the boat for this year. One thing that's great about this project is the ability to really close the door on it. Nothing left to do now but clean it up.
If you've been watching us for a while, you might remember us being broached and our stanchions bending under the weight of the ocean.
How goes it?
Well, since that moment, we haven't really been able to close our lifelines. The extension of the push pit would have solved that, but since we couldn't get a technician, we just had to figure out a way to bend our stanchions back on our own. Luckily, we have friends with tools.
That's a good way to do it.
Oh, baby, burn. Burn.
I'm impressed by the metal. I feel better about our push pit.
So for future reference, if someone asks how many men does it take to bend a stanchion, the answer is 4.
It's workable. That'll do.
Nothing says Kiana like this.
I mean,
Nothing says Kiana like a fucked up stanchion.
all it's meant to do is keep us on the boat and alive, you know? It's just...
Nothing important. Sometimes you don't need an engineer, you just need a couple of apes with a sledgehammer.
Well, at least one of our projects went smoothly.
I think we tried it. I don't think this recovering from this.
What did we change?
It was the old voltage of the batteries from the controller that's not doing its job properly.
Why did it pick the fridge?
Didn't pick the fridge, just we had over voltage in our system and it fried. It's a 12-volt system and it wasn't able to handle it. Fried something. Hopefully we didn't do any more damage anywhere else. Like, you don't get that smell and have to
that's a bad smell.
recover. Like, that's whatever didn't like that voltage is fucked. And this fridge is now fucked.
This sucks. This is hard. This is hard. We're just like grinding 12-hour days to get ready. And right now it just feels like everything's breaking. The toilet is broken. Our fridge just broke. Our solar's not working. Our Selden stuff didn't come with all the pieces, so we can't install that. It's just like everything. Every step forward is 2 back. We're supposed to be crossing the ocean in a week, and our fridge just broke. We're just like climbing an uphill battle right now to get things ready, and they're not coming together.
Yeah, I'm pretty annoyed right now. I think what happened is we installed a new Renogy 12 volt 30 amp controller for 200 watts of solar, and it's only programmed, it can only do 12 volt, doesn't have the option to do 24 volt. But for some reason, when we hooked it all up, the same way that it hooked up everything else before, for some reason it put our batteries into way over voltage, and I think we fried. We can smell burning where the controller is for the fridge. I think we fried it.
We Googled the Wanderer controller to find some solutions and find out what we did wrong. But we only found threads on how this seems to be a common problem for this particular solar controller. Needless to say, we quickly got rid of it and replaced it with the Victron that since has a recent solar upgrade working perfectly. Unfortunately, though, the damage to our fridge was already done.
I'm gonna see if I can find a fuse on that system that maybe that would save the day, but I kind of doubt it. I think that, yeah, we just fried our old refrigerator and we just don't have time to sort this out, and now we're about to go remote for the rest of the year to the South Pacific, and like, God, it'd be nice to have a fucking fridge. It's just so annoying. We've been working so hard to get the boat ready and to be comfortable to live on and enjoyable, and we just don't need any more setbacks.
I was sitting in here working online and smelt like acrid, like melting electrical wire, and I was like, that's not a good smell. So we chased the smell. I have a sensitive nose. Chased the smell into this compartment. And this is where our fridge control is. And I touched it and it's hot. And so Ben turned off all of the power. And so the lights were on, and then Ben turned off all of the power because I was like, this thing's hot. We need to look at this. We tried to turn everything back on again and it didn't come back on. So this is how we got to where we are.
I think we're just burnt out on boat work, and we just want to finish projects. We don't want any new ones. Yeah.
Just want something to go well.
Things have gone pretty well. If you look back on our list that we have achieved, we've gotten a lot done. We're tired, we're burnt out, we're ready for this next phase, and we just gotta push through for another week and solve the problems that we got left. We don't have that much. It's doable.
All boat projects are like one step forward, two step back. Yeah. It's probably just that we've been only doing projects for like months.
Way too long now. It's time to go have fun again. Time to go surfing again. I can't wait to go sailing again.
Yeah.
And we're almost there. We just gotta keep pushing through.
You know, a great way to make yourself feel better is to open presents to ourselves, from ourselves, for French Polynesia.
Okay guys, today is a super exciting day. I've been waiting for this for a long time now. We just got a big delivery, but the most exciting thing, the thing I'm most stoked about, is I got a new surfboard. Yeehaw! Folks, minty fresh, hot off the presses. 6'8" M23, Channel Islands M23 with 41.9 liters. So a pretty big board compared to what my regular shortboard is like, but still like quite performance oriented, and it's kind of an all-arounder. Like you can kind of do it all. You could ride it on a mushy wave day, or it'll be my step up in the South Pacific. You know, when it gets too big to be on my 6.0 standard thruster, then this thing can act as like a bit of a gun.
This cockpit is chaos. Chaos! This is wild.
Cool. I'm excited for this. So excited about this. So this is the Nomad air compressor. It floats at the surface and compresses air, and then has a big long tube that goes to your mouth and you can stay underwater. It was kind of marketed as like, oh, you could clean the bottom of your boat. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go snorkeling / freediving with this. I guess it doesn't count as free diving, but I'm so excited to just like be underwater and look at fish and see the life under there and be able to stay down. And also I can clean the bottom, but I probably won't.
Yes, I'm stoked about these. Guys, we are getting bougie fridges that can turn into freezers. And the thing is, it's so small that when I went looking, I was like, I don't know, man. It's hard to say no to something that can fit anywhere. I don't know if we have enough solar to run it all the time, but when I look at this, I think of all the fish that we're going to catch and have to freeze, and I don't want to waste any fish, especially if they're Dorado. We got a freezer that can act as a beer fridge. This is our nav seat. Under the cushion, there is a hole, and there's nothing in there. So I'm going to try to fit this in this seat. It may not happen, but either way, we have entered the phase of our lives where we have 2 fridges. Okay, so it sort of fits. Here's our problem. This bar down there is attached to our seat back.
Give us a win.
Woo!
Glove.
Look at that, baby! But this fits like a glove.
It does. It's
Look at it. Oh, it's like it was meant for our boat. Here's the catch.
I know.
This is the catch. In order for it to fit, I had to take off. So it's a stool.
I got the go-ahead from the boss to take the back off. And I added in some vents for airflow, piano hinges, and voila! Kiana is entering her 2nd fridge era. Well, 1.5. Right. Well, speaking of, now that we've had some projects go well and we were feeling a little bit better, it's time to sort out our primary fridge situation.
Not looking good, the fridge. No, it's great. We're going without the fridge. We have the small sort of secondary fridge, so we have some refrigeration, and we have the ice maker, so we can always, on a good sunny solar day, we can always add ice to our now cooler box behind me. But yeah, we were pretty much ready to say screw it. We don't have time for more projects. Projects are going way too slow. We need to finish projects and get the hell out of here. But this morning I was feeling a little bit more like, maybe I can solve this and at least try, maybe there's an easy enough fix out there. And so I got on the net, described the problem. I said I'm either looking for a spare controller, if anyone's got it. I'm looking for a technician, if anyone knows one, a refrigeration guy, or I'm looking to buy a used portable fridge, like add a second portable fridge to the boat, just as like an interim fix. And that got me to Ron from Cosmic Debris, Sailing Infidels. They have a channel, nice people from British Columbia. So he's got 2 leads for me. One, he has a spare controller for a Danfoss compressor, and we have a Danfoss compressor, or a module he called it. His module, he thought he needed it for his fridge, and it turns out he didn't have that type of compressor, so he just has it and doesn't need it. So potentially a module, which who knows if it's actually the right one for my fridge, but it looks like it could be. So that's one thing. And then he gave me the contact Louise, who's a refrigeration guy around here, who I've already messaged and he's already wrote back. We've talked about the problem. He actually thinks it could be the module, which is like, okay, feels like we're getting a little bit of luck here. And he's going to come over in like a couple hours and take a look. So I'm actually going to pick up the module from Ron's boat out in the anchorage, and be ready for when Louise comes. And I'm just fingers crossed, like we could use a win right now. We could really use a not have another project on our plates that we weren't planning to have.
So Ben head out to the anchorage to find Ron and Wendy, the Sailing Infidels, on their boat, Cosmic Debris.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
So yeah, this was gifted to someone who gifted it to me.
Oh, sweet.
So if it works for you, awesome.
Then I guess the stars aligned if that's the case.
But if it doesn't, I wouldn't mind having that.
Sure. All right, another long day of work here. But Luis, the man, just showed up. It's almost 6 o'clock on a Friday, and he agreed to come look at our fridge. He's the local refrigeration guy. I'm hopeful that he's got the part that we're going to need in stock because we don't have time to order anything. So fingers crossed.
Tell your wife.
Ben and Alie,
Yes. I have another compressor. It was working. It's not new. It's not new. But
Whoa. Look at how archaic this is.
very, very old.
Very, very old.
So,
Guys, I think we're not dead in the water. Mi amigo, mi hombre that's helping fix the refrigerator says that we knew this. Our fridge is super, super old. Apparently there's 4 generations with it, and we have the original, but our friends over on Cosmic Debris had the 3rd era, the newer version of the module. And our amigo aquí here has the compressor that matches it. And he's like, it works. If you want, I can take out your compressor now, come back tomorrow at 10 a.m. with the new one, and hopefully it should work. Oh, crisis averted. I feel so good. I feel like today things are going well.
We'll see. Hopefully.
Hope.
Good.
Anyway, there's hope.
Feels kind of like the stars aligned. The fact that Ron heard us on the radio, had that module that was gifted to him that he no longer needs, and then this guy happens to have a compressor that works with it.
And is willing to come on a Saturday to bring us this part.
The next day, Louise was back at 10 a.m. with the new old compressor to match our module.
It's like fridge guy's back. Louise here?
Pardon?
Is Louise here?
Yeah.
That looks nice.
Yeah.
Looks like something from maybe the 90s instead of the 80s. 50 watt.
Cool.
Where is he?
He went to go get more tools.
Yeah. So, same as before, but maybe it'll just, maybe the module or whatever will be a little bit more efficient when it runs and when it doesn't. And
Even if it doesn't, I don't care.
No.
I just want a fridge.
yes, you can touch
It's working?
over there.
My key?
Yes.
Oh yeah! It's cold.
Yes.
It's muy frío.
It's one need time and need
Sí.
3 hours.
Yes. Okay.
But all system is bad.
All system is working.
Yes.
Mucho gracias, Luis.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Mucho gracias.
I don't know if it was bad luck that the fridge broke a week before the biggest passage of our lives yet, or good luck that the stars aligned to get it working again. But either way, we had a working fridge,
Mucho gracias.
a boat full of food,
A lot of snacks.
an extra fuel tank on board, and only a few projects left to go. Hit subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on next week's episode, and visit Patreon to see some behind the scenes.
you did good.
And don't forget to hit that bell.